This is the plaintiff, Cheyenne Rodney. She says she hired the defendant to make her an elaborate dress for her carnival-themed 21st birthday. And the woman had the audacity to try her dress on and send her a picture of her wearing it. Yuck! That's like a woman trying on her undergarments, and that's just gross. She's suing for $1,700, the cost of the costume and photo shoots. This is the defendant, Najee Smith. She says she admits she may have overstepped her bounds by a bit by trying on the dress, but she wanted to show the plaintiff the headdress along with the gown and thought she'd be happy to see it all together. Bottom line, the plaintiff took the gown and she isn't owed a refund. She's accused of soiling a relationship. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,047.34 for unpaid work.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says that she hired the defendant to make an elaborate costume for her 21st birthday. But before the birthday, the defendant put the costume on and then posted it on social media. Now, the defendant says all she wanted to do was show the plaintiff the dress and headpiece and thought she'd be happy. It's the case of you put the twit in Twitter.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Rodney, you are suing Ms. Smith for $1,700 in damages. You say you are out as a result of her forcing you to miss a photo shoot and emotional distress. You have a counterclaim against her, Ms. Smith, for $1,047.34 for emotional distress and more money you feel you should have been paid for your work. All right. Let's start with you, Ms. Rodney. What's going on here?
Okay, so on October 9th, I believe, I contacted Naj about getting a costume made for a shoot that was supposed to take place on November. It was originally supposed to take place on November 8th. I told her, however, that I needed it for November 7th, which was a day in advance to make sure that I did get the outfit in time.
Okay, but what was the photo shoot for?
My 21st birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay, so go on.
Correct. So I let her know that I would only be able to pay about $350 for the costume in its whole. So she worked with me. We were able to make some adjustments to the costume to make it fit my budget, and that's what we went with. Ultimately, the outfit wasn't finished until 3 a.m. on November 7th.
And the photo shoot was scheduled for November 8th, but she thought it was for November 7th.
Exactly.
So you get a text at 3 o'clock in the morning on November 7th saying it's ready.
With the actual full photo of the costume.
Okay, but then everything should have been fine because you would have had the whole day of November 7th to get the costume. What ended up happening on November 7th?
So I told her that I would be running errands throughout the day and we had to figure out what time we wanted to meet up. She told me that she lived in Jersey, so that she would either have to bring it to me that night or earlier the next day, because I did let her know that my photo shoot did get pushed back because I was running so many errands. So I told her she had the full day.
But one would think this would be a pretty important errand to make sure to be available for it to be delivered. So what was the plan that was made between you guys?
The plan that was made was for it to get delivered. She notified me that she lived in Jersey, so she would either come tonight or tomorrow morning to bring it to me. Let me know your preference. I said, okay, no problem. She said, let me know when you're done running all your errands for the day, and I'll see if I'll be able to bring it to you that night or early in the morning.
And when did you let her know that you were done running your errands?
9 p.m.
And what did you say when you sent her that text?
I said, I'm guessing tonight may be too late.
Okay. And then she doesn't answer that text, right?
No.
All right. So then the next morning, what time do you connect with her? Now, this is the day of the actual photo shoot.
Correct.
Right.
I wrote her at 8:31 a.m. and I asked, good morning, how soon can you drop it off?
Right.
I didn't get an answer to that message either, so I wrote her again at 9:49 a.m.
And what time was your photo shoot?
It was scheduled for 1 p.m.
We're cutting it close, ain't we? I mean, I guess we should have been around to receive it the day before, but anyway, go ahead.
Sorry to mention with that, I also did let her know that my mother would be home all day.
So why didn't you just, see, here's what I'm looking for in the text. I'm looking for you saying to her, drop it off, my mother's home. I'm looking for that, but I don't see that. I see instead you saying, I'm running errands, I'll let you know when I'm done. And then your errands don't end until 9 p.m. I mean...
Yes.
You know, and that's when you make yourself available at 9 p.m. And then what you say to her, it's too late tonight. So you were fine with her dropping it off in the morning. So now we got to
that wasn't a problem.
calculate. Yeah, unless there's traffic. So what happens? She is in traffic. There's an accident. She's sending you texts. She's telling you. What time does she actually get to you?
1:18 p.m.
What time was the photo shoot?
1 o'clock.
Right. So that didn't work out very well. So what happened? Did you have to reschedule the photo shoot?
I had to pay a cancellation fee for that photo shoot, and I had to rebook another photo shoot for the following day after I got off of work.
With the same photographer?
No, I wasn't able to rebook with that same photographer because of the way he had his booking set up. He was already booked for the month.
Okay. Do you have any proof that you had to pay a cancellation fee?
I have the message from the photographer itself, but not the payment sent out.
I'm going to need proof that you paid $350 because you're asking to be, that's one of the things that you're asking to be reimbursed for. So,
Right, the $350 is for the costume that I paid her. And
I'm sorry, I need to see that you lost a $300, you're suing for $350 for the costume, which you accepted, by the way, right?
I didn't, she wouldn't take it from me. Like,
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Choice.
You have the costume, right?
Correct.
All right, now, you're also suing for $300 deposit for this photo shoot because you are telling me that you lost that money and a $50 cancellation fee for the photo shoot. So what that $350 is a $350 I'm referring to. Do you have any proof that you incurred that $350?
Yes, I have my receipts.
Let me see that receipt. And while you're looking for that, Ms. Smith, you talk to me. Why is it cut so close like this? These are, the only cases I get are these, the ones where everybody's panicking at the last minute and trying to hustle and get it over there. If it was done at 3 o'clock the day before, on November 7th, it was done at 3 a.m. Why are you texting her at 3 a.m. anyway?
I wanted to make sure that she saw that it was done. The next morning, I made sure I reached out to her. I was readily available. I wanted her to know her piece was done.
Did she ever tell you my mother's home and you can drop it off at any time?
Not that I recall.
No, and it's not in the text. That's why I'm asking you that. But she says she told you that.
That was not a conversation.
No. All right.
No,
so
that wasn't a conversation.
When she sends you the text at 9 p.m. and says, I'm done with my errands, I'm home now, but it's too late tonight, did you actually see that text or you didn't see it until the next day?
I didn't see it until the next day because I had fallen asleep. I had been speaking with her throughout the day. She suddenly had issues about the costume. She didn't like the headpiece. There were different items that she wanted me to change. But by that time, I had utilized all the materials for the costume.
Okay. On the day that you're delivering it, what is said between you two when you get there?
So the issue with the day that I was trying to deliver was I was trying to meet her at the actual photo shoot itself. She refused to give me the address. She was insistent that it was a closed set. The photographer didn't want anybody else there.
Well, I don't think you're describing it accurately. I read all these texts. What she said to you was, the photographer says no, but let me work on it. She wanted you to meet her there. The photographer wouldn't allow it. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. I'll be honest, this was 2020. I don't have the text messages in front of me, but I was trying to, at least if I could drop it off to her there, that would have made more sense than me traveling all the way to the other side of Brooklyn. It would have been easier for me to get to her there, especially considering that the time was cutting it so close. Once I arrived to her home, she was getting out of a cab. It didn't seem like she was ready in any way, shape, and/or form. I went to the door. She was visibly upset. I could see that. She expressed that she had missed the photo shoot. I did apologize. I had given her my location, everything. I kept her abreast of my location at all times.
Was there an accident on the highway or something?
Yes. When I was trying to get over the George Washington, it was all the way backed up.
So what do you say to her?
When I see her, I do apologize for it. And at that point, there's the invoice that she received. It does say it's a custom piece. There are no refunds for these items. She took it. She went inside. Once it's in her possession, that's it.
Right. What is she? Well, I'll be the judge of that. I'll be the judge of who breached the contract here, because this is just a contracts case, guys. You guys understand that. It's a contract case.
Right.
So I need to decide whether someone breached that contract or not. Let me ask you a question, Ms. Smith. So she took it and she is saying, I'm out $1,700 because I waxed that day for nothing.
She never
I missed
mentioned
work.
that to me.
I want you to pay for my old photo shoot and my new photo shoot, so I have a free photo shoot. I'm emotionally distressed by $400. When you say she wasn't ready in any way, shape, or form, did she have makeup on? Or you don't remember?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
I believe her hair was up. Her makeup may have been done.
Okay. Ms.
Now it's
Rodney,
kind of a
did you
slap in the
find
face.
any of the receipts I'm asking you for? Any of the proof of any of your damages?
I'm still scrolling through. I got a new card, so I'm trying to see if I can.
Okay, because you've provided the court with zero evidence of your damages. Zero. Like you haven't, other than, of course, the costume. But according to you, Ms. Smith, she used the costume, right?
She did use the costume. The pictures are on her social media.
This is the costume, correct? On the bottom right?
Yes.
These look like professional photographs, Ms. Rodney. So did you end up having your professional shoot?
I had to get off work early the next day to rebook with another photographer to get the shots in order to get them done for my birthday dinner in time, yes.
In order to get them done for what?
My birthday dinner. The photo shoot photos were to be displayed at my 21st birthday dinner.
Okay.
I do have a screenshot of the first payment I sent out.
We don't need to, the payments aren't in dispute. So just prove to me that you're out money. I need to see that. Like, for example, one of the things you say is I paid a different photographer $250. Prove to me that you paid a different photographer $250.
Okay, no problem.
And also prove to me that you had to pay for makeup a second time, which you also haven't shown me. And prove to me the paperwork
I didn't pay for makeup a second time.
Okay. Well, then how'd you waste the makeup?
Because the first day I cried the makeup off because I didn't go to any photo shoot.
Okay, you haven't even provided me with a makeup receipt. And also, if you missed work, I'm going to need to see proof of missed work, like from your employer.
I missed work because I took off work
You're not listening to me. I didn't ask. That's the answer to why did you miss work. My question is, you're the plaintiff and you have the burden of proof. You can't just come here and say, give me $1,700. You've got to prove the things you're saying. So if you're asking for a specific amount for missed work, prove the specific amount for missed work by giving me something from your employer saying that you missed work. That's how every litigant does it. I mean, you can't just come in and have a laundry list of complaints and then not have any backup for it, especially when I see that you took photos and that you posted them on Instagram and that you've gotten the use of the costume that you had made for you, custom made for your 21st birthday to post at your party.
Okay.
Now, you have a counterclaim against her while she's looking for that, and your counterclaim is for a $65 consultation fee. Because what? Because you didn't charge her for it, and now you wanna?
Well, because I was willing to work with her.
And now you don't wanna?
She presented.
I know, but that's the deal you struck with her. How do you have the right to change a deal after it's struck? And a delivery fee, $180.72, miles worth of gas and tolls, $50 in tolls, only in New York, man. It's crazy.
Unfortunately.
I understand, but that was never the deal with her. In other words, if the photo shoot had been at 5 and you had given her the costume, you would only get what you were going to get, which was a $350. $300 difference between actual cost of costume, meaning because you're worth more than you quoted. But again, I'm here to enforce the contract you struck, not the contract you wish you had because now you're angry that you got sued. And then what's your emotional distress? $450 for your emotional distress.
Since working with her, it's been very difficult for me to even create anything. Also, upon finding out about this information, I am pregnant. This also brought an added anxiety and stress to me.
Everybody's got to put their big girl panties on. And honestly, come on.
That's fine.
All right? You know, come on. Why are you stressed out? She used it in the Instagram photo. Your premise is that she's not out anything and that she's just trying to make money off of you. That's your premise. So why are you stressed out? Don't stress the peanut in your belly. You know, make sure the peanut is safe and don't worry about this. On to the next thing. That's like, you know, all right. And Ms. Rodney, how are you $400 out in emotional distress if you ended up using the costume anyway?
Because I literally had no choice. My shoot, everything was planned to the T. I gave her
not so much. If you're running errands at 9 p.m., it's not planned to the T. And if you don't say once on Saturday, come today. And if you say come tomorrow, it's like both of you shouldn't have done that if the shoot was at 1, but especially you, because you know what time the shoot is. According to you, you're upset because she tried on the costume. Tell me about that.
Okay, so yes, she tried on the costume. She sent me a photo at 3 a.m. with the costume fully. And
tell me why that's a problem.
It's literally the middle of the pandemic, if not early it's not the beginning. It's not a costume. It's not an outfit that you can put in the washing machine to then clean to give it back to me. It's a skin on contact thing. It's a bra and a panty. So it's not like she could have actually washed it or actually sanitized it before giving it back to me. It's just like you put on the outfit that I already paid you in full for and then gave it to me. And I was just supposed to be okay with that.
Yeah, that is a little creepy. Why did that happen, Ms. Smith?
Completely understand. It was going to get sanitized either way.
How?
The problem was the back and forth communication between her and
How would it get
because it was during COVID.
Yeah, okay. As far as I know, you cannot get COVID from your private parts, but it's just creepy.
Right,
So,
but
why would you put it on?
on.
Why would you put on a client's outfit without waiting for their response? You probably shouldn't have done that.
It was because of the way that the conversation was going with me trying to figure out, do I need to go and get more material? What do I need to do to accommodate her, since she was saying that she no longer wanted this and she was making provisions to the costume at the last moment?
This is you showing on November 7th at 3:02 a.m. You're showing her the finished piece. And she answers at 7:30 a.m. Oh, my God, I love it. And then she's asking you again, what time and where should I meet you? I'm not sure if you were able to speak with the photographer. And then you show her at 10:26 what you propose to wear and tell her he switched the shoot to tomorrow at 1. I'm on my way home now, though, if you wanted to meet and show me how to tie it. And then she answers, blah, blah, blah. You can wear something like that. It's all still the morning. And she says, okay.
Right.
So like I told you before, I do live in Jersey, so I can come out there tonight or tomorrow morning to bring it to you. You let me know your preference, honey. Why don't you just say, bring it now? My mother's there. Were you able to get everything done for your shoot? Are you still running around? And your answer at 11:21 a.m. is I'm still doing a couple of runarounds. Why isn't your answer, go to my house and drop it off? My mother's there.
Because she kept insisting that she needed to show me how to tie it. My mother wasn't going to.
She didn't insist that. She said she could do that. All right,
No.
then it says, all right, love, well, you get your stuff done. Everything is all done on my end. So you just let me know when. I got you, honey. Anyway, look, I'd like to know whether you found any receipts of any of the damages that you're claiming. That's my last question to you.
I have it pulled up. 1 second.
I've waited long enough. I'm not waiting anymore. You're the plaintiff, and you know when you come to court that you're the one who has to have your evidence ready to show the judge. You decide when you're filing a case. Don't file cases until all your ducks are in a row. All right, we're done. Here's how I'm going to rule. I don't think that you should have waited that long, but it's really not your problem, Ms. Smith. It's her problem. You were available to take it to her the entire time on Saturday, and she doesn't get back to you until 9 p.m. the night before. I don't see why it is you waited until 10:30 on the morning of to wake up and bring it over if you knew that it was at 1 o'clock. But by the same token, I don't see why the plaintiff waited. I just don't get it. I don't think you are the one who made that late appointment. I think it's the plaintiff, and I think it's your problem, Ms. Rodney. And this also isn't a costume that you needed for your wedding and your wedding pass. This is a costume you needed for a photo shoot, which I know you used for a photo shoot. And if you're cutting it close, you're the one cutting it close. My verdict in this case is for the defendant, but on the counterclaim 0.
So the plaintiff failed to prove her case. She spent most of the case looking for documents, which she should have had ready for the judge to see. So let me see what you feel about it, Ms. Rodney. It didn't work out for you. You lost the case. What are you thinking right now?
I'm not understanding how I could have lost the case. It's absolutely ridiculous. This whole case.
By the way, let me ask you this. You had a photo shoot, but this was all for your 21st birthday. How did you use the dress? Just in the photo shoot? Did you wear that to your birthday party?
No, it was done for the photos for my birthday, to be displayed at my birthday dinner.
And we haven't heard anything about the dinner. How did it work out? How was it?
It was fun, all things considered.
So the party did work out for you. So it was a good party. You just had problems getting. What I assume? Are you a model? And had photos all around the room.
I'm not a model, but the photos were. That was the idea. Yes.
All right, very good. Well, unfortunately, you lost the case, and, that's the way it is. Ms. Smith, let me talk to you. You're off the hook. How do you feel about this dispute?
Honestly speaking, it's a little disheartening. I was trying to work with the young lady with hopes that, we could foster a great relationship, and it appears that no matter how kind you may be willing to be for somebody, it's never enough. So learn my lesson there. Got to put business first.
And also, I guess you learned a lesson about trying on an outfit and showing the party. That wasn't a great idea either, was it?
Absolutely. I agree there. 100% lessons learned across the board, so I can't be upset for that part.
Okay, very good. All right, that'll bring this case to a close. Harvey, what do you think about this?
So, Doug, we've talked about it before. I mean, there are two elements to every civil lawsuit. One is liability, and then one is damages. Liability means you have to prove that the other person did something wrong. Forget about money for a minute. That they did something wrong. In this case, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. In the plaintiff's head, the defendant did, but it's just not the case. And even if it were the case, then the issue is damages. Fact is, the plaintiff wore the dress. No harm, no foul. The plaintiff loses.
Can someone take the bar exam without a law degree?
They can if they're in the right state. There are 4 states that will allow you to just go sit for the bar exam, and if you pass it, voila, you're a lawyer. And it's Vermont, Virginia, California, and Washington.
I know California because I kind of remember something about one of the Kardashians trying to
Right.
take it or something.
Right. I mean, just think of that. You could save 3 years. Right? But,
Right. Our daughter just graduated from law school, and I bought her a T-shirt that said, "If it takes 3 years, it better be one hell of a bar."
That's right. Well, there are also 3 states that will allow you to take a little bit of law school, like a year or 2, and then the balance of it as an apprentice with a law firm or a lawyer, learning your way along. You still got to pass the bar.
I highly recommend law school, though.
Absolutely.